In the journey of life, we often encounter waves of disrespect that challenge our inner peace and test our resilience. How do we stand firm in the face of such trials? How can we respond in a way that not only preserves our dignity, but also transforms us for the better? Stoicism, an ancient philosophy with timeless wisdom, offers profound lessons on handling disrespect with grace, strength, and virtue. This guide will explore 10 Stoic lessons that empower us to rise above negativity, to see beyond the immediate sting of hurtful words or actions. What does it truly mean to forgive? Can a pause really change the course of a conflict? How can humor and empathy disarm tension? Join us on a journey of self-discovery and growth, where each lesson unfolds a new pathway to handling disrespect with remarkable Stoic calm and wisdom. Let's explore how these timeless teachings can illuminate our path to a more peaceful, meaningful, and resilient life. Lesson number 1. Stoics reflect on themselves. In the vast expanse of human interactions, the sting of disrespect can unsettle the most serene of minds. Yet, Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers a beacon of wisdom that guides us towards maintaining an inner peace amidst such external disturbances. Imagine you are at the receiving end of harsh words or actions. Your initial impulse might be to retaliate, to let those words define your mood or even your day. But Stoicism invites you to pause, to turn your gaze inward, not in search of blame, but for understanding and control. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor and philosopher, once posed a thought-provoking question. Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself, what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? This introspective journey is not about dwelling on our faults, but recognizing the common humanity in our imperfections. By reflecting on ourselves, we find empathy and insight into our vulnerabilities, enabling us to respond not with grievance, but with grace. But how does one practice this in daily life? Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic, a colleague dismisses your ideas, or a friend overlooks your feelings. In these moments, take a breath and ask yourself, what is within my control? The actions and words of others are not, but your response is. Could there be a reason behind their disrespect that has nothing to do with you? Perhaps they are struggling with their own challenges, and it's their way of coping. This doesn't excuse their behavior, but understanding this can change your reaction to one of compassion rather than anger. Self-reflection, then, becomes a tool for personal growth. It challenges us to look deeper than the surface of our interactions and find a way to maintain our equilibrium. It teaches us that the only person we can truly control is ourselves. Have you ever noticed that the most respected individuals are those who remain calm and composed in the face of disrespect? They are the ones who have mastered the art of self-reflection, understanding that their value and peace come from within, not from the approval or disapproval of others. This Stoic lesson of turning inward in moments of disrespect offers a powerful shift in perspective. It encourages us not to react impulsively, but to respond thoughtfully. It empowers us to transform moments of potential conflict into opportunities for personal development and to live a life defined not by external circumstances, but by internal virtue. Let us then embrace the Stoic practice of self-reflection as a daily ritual, not only when faced with disrespect, but as a cornerstone of living a more meaningful and happier life. For in understanding ourselves, we unlock the door to understanding the world around us, navigating life's challenges with wisdom, empathy, and grace. How will you apply this Stoic lesson in your life today? Lesson number 2. Stoics, stay calm. In the tempest of daily life, where words can often be sharper than swords, The principle of maintaining calmness stands as a beacon of strength. Stoicism, more than a philosophy, serves as a practical guide for navigating the tumultuous seas of human interaction, especially when we encounter the harsh winds of disrespect. It teaches us to embody the stillness at the eye of the storm, where, despite the chaos swirling around, there remains a sphere of serenity untouched by the external world. But how does one achieve such a state of unshakable calm? Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once shared a powerful antidote to anger: delay. The greatest remedy for anger is delay, he stated, reminding us that time can diffuse the heat of our immediate reactions. Imagine someone's words or actions igniting the spark of anger within you. In that moment, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads down the road of immediate reaction, where words are often regretted and relationships strained. The other path invites you to pause, to breathe, and to let that moment of potential conflict pass by without claiming your peace of mind. By consciously choosing calmness, we assert that our inner peace is sovereign territory, inviolable by external forces. This does not mean we are indifferent or passive. Rather, we choose to respond from a place of strength, not weakness. Our calmness becomes a shield, protecting us from the arrows of disrespect, and a statement to the world that our serenity is ours to keep. But why is this so important? Consider for a moment the impact of this Stoic calmness, not only on ourselves, but on those around us. It serves as a powerful example, a teaching moment for others who witness the dignity with which we carry ourselves amidst provocation. Our calm response to disrespect can often speak louder than any words of retort, offering a silent lesson in dignity and self-control. The next time you find yourself in the midst of disrespect, remember the Stoic teaching of calmness. Ask yourself, will my reaction improve this situation or my well-being? More often than not, you'll find that maintaining your calm not only preserves your peace but also elevates your spirit. It is in these moments that we truly embody the Stoic ideal, demonstrating that, indeed, no external force can disturb the fortress of our mind. How will you practice this Stoic calm in your own life? Lesson number 3. Stoics have empathy. In the rich tapestry of human interaction, empathy shines as a golden thread, binding us together through the shared understanding of our struggles and triumphs. Stoic philosophy, with its deep roots in the cultivation of character and virtue, heralds empathy as a fundamental practice. It's not just about walking a mile in another's sandals. It's about recognizing that the path they tread is fraught with its own challenges, pains, and battles, much like our own. Epictetus, a sage of Stoicism, reminds us that learning is hindered by the belief that we already possess all knowledge. This wisdom encourages us to approach every interaction with an open heart, ready to understand rather than to judge. But how can we practice empathy, especially when faced with disrespect? Let's imagine a colleague speaks harshly to us. Our immediate reaction might be to respond in kind or to harbor resentment. However, Stoicism invites us to pause and consider, what struggles might this person be facing? Could their sharp words be a reflection of their own internal turmoil rather than a true assessment of our character? This shift in perspective does not excuse disrespectful behavior, but offers us a pathway to respond with compassion rather than hostility. It transforms the encounter from a personal affront to a moment of connection through the recognition of shared human frailty. Consider the power of a simple question like, "Are you okay?" in such a situation. It has the potential to break down walls, to turn a moment of conflict into an opportunity for healing. Empathy, then, is not merely feeling for someone, It's an active engagement with the complexities of their experience. It requires us to set aside our immediate judgments and reactions, to delve deeper into the stories that shape our interactions. When we practice empathy, we do not just hear the words spoken against us. We listen for the unspoken pain or confusion that fuels them. We offer understanding instead of retaliation, healing instead of hurt. In embracing empathy, we embody the Stoic ideal of turning adversity into advantage. Each act of disrespect becomes a lesson in understanding, an opportunity to strengthen our character and deepen our connections with others. It reminds us that beneath the surface of every harsh word or action lies a call for help, a plea for understanding. How will you answer this call in your life today? Lesson number 4. Stoics learn to pause. Stoic philosophy, with its deep roots in the cultivation of character and virtue, heralds empathy as a fundamental practice. It's not just about walking a mile in another's sandals, it's about recognizing that the path they tread is fraught with its own challenges, pains, and battles, much like our own. Epictetus, a sage of Stoicism, reminds us that learning is hindered by the belief that we already possess all knowledge. This wisdom encourages us to approach every interaction with an open heart, ready to understand rather than to judge. But how can we practice empathy, especially when faced with disrespect? Let's imagine a colleague speaks harshly to us. Our immediate reaction might be to respond in kind or to harbor resentment. However, Stoicism invites us to pause and consider, what struggles might this person be facing? Could their sharp words be a reflection of their own internal turmoil, rather than a true assessment of our character? Shift in perspective doesn't excuse disrespectful behavior, but offers us a pathway to respond with compassion rather than hostility. It transforms the encounter from a personal affront to a moment of connection through the recognition of shared human frailty. Consider the power of a simple question like, "Are you okay?" in such a situation. It has the potential to break down walls, to turn a moment of conflict into an opportunity for healing. Empathy, then, is not merely feeling for someone, it's an active engagement with the complexities of their experience. It requires us to set aside our immediate judgments and reactions, to delve deeper into the stories that shape our interactions. When we practice empathy, we do not just hear the words spoken against us. We listen for the unspoken pain or confusion that fuels them. We offer understanding instead of retaliation, healing instead of hurt. In embracing empathy, we embody the Stoic ideal of turning adversity into advantage. Each act of disrespect becomes a lesson in understanding, an opportunity to strengthen our character and deepen our connections with others. It reminds us that beneath the surface of every harsh word or action lies a call for help, a plea for understanding. How will you answer this call in your life today? Lesson number 5. Stoicism embraces acceptance. This ancient philosophy, grounded in the pursuit of inner tranquility and ethical living, teaches us the art of discernment, recognizing the boundaries between what lies within our sphere of control and what does not. The winds of disrespect, harsh and unsettling as they may be, drift beyond our command. Yet, how we choose to respond to these breezes is ours to decide. Epictetus, a sage of Stoicism, once illuminated this path with his words, "Do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead want them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go well." This profound statement invites us to shift our perspective, to align our desires with the reality that unfolds, rather than wishing reality to bend to our desires. But how does this manifest in our daily lives? Standing beneath the vast expanse of the night sky, gazing up at stars whose light has traveled unfathomable distances to reach your eyes. Just as we accept the beauty of the night sky without wishing to rearrange the stars, Stoicism invites us to view the events of our lives with a similar openness and acceptance. When faced with disrespect or misunderstanding, we might feel a storm of emotions within. However, instead of letting these feelings drive us into the turmoil of resentment or retaliation, we can choose to accept the situation as it is. This doesn't mean we agree with or condone disrespect, but rather, we accept that it has occurred and focus on our capacity to respond with dignity and virtue. In this light is an act of liberation. It frees us from the exhausting struggle against the unchangeable, from the weight of expectations that reality often cannot meet. It guides us towards a state of peace and resilience, where we can face life's challenges with a calm heart and a clear mind. A moment of disagreement with a close friend. The initial impulse may be to insist on your perspective, to prove yourself right. But Stoicism teaches us to accept the difference, to listen openly, and to respond with empathy and understanding. This approach not only preserves the harmony of the relationship, but also enriches your own inner life. Embracing acceptance is a journey towards tranquility and strength, a practice that transforms our interactions and deepens our connection to life's profound beauty. How might embracing acceptance change your approach to challenges you face today? Lesson number 6. Stoicism is based on virtue. At the core of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has traversed centuries, virtue stands as the bedrock of a life well lived. This philosophy does not merely suggest virtue as an ideal. It positions it as the essential framework through which every facet of life should be navigated. Virtue, in its quintessential form, encompasses wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are not abstract concepts, but practical tools that guide a Stoic's actions and reactions, especially when confronted with the sharp edges of disrespect. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, once implored, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." His words serve as a clarion call to action, urging us to embody the virtues we admire. But how does one practice virtue in the face of disrespect? It begins with the recognition that our reactions are a reflection of our inner state. To respond with anger or spite is to stray from the path of virtue. To act with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance is to affirm our commitment to Stoicism. You are unfairly criticized at work. The sting of disrespect tempts you towards indignation. Yet this is the moment when Stoicism lights the way. Wisdom guides you to understand the root of the criticism, whether it's a misunderstanding or perhaps stress speaking on behalf of your critic. Courage enables you to face the situation head-on, addressing the issue calmly and constructively. Justice steers you towards fair treatment, ensuring you do not retaliate, but rather seek a resolution that acknowledges all perspectives. And temperance. It reminds you to moderate your emotions, to find the balance between standing up for yourself and maintaining peace. This Stoic approach transforms potential conflict into an opportunity for personal growth and ethical action. It is a testament to the power of virtue as both shield and compass, protecting us from the external forces of disrespect and guiding us towards actions rooted in moral integrity. Stoicism teaches us that our greatest strength lies not in how others treat us, but in how we choose to respond. By anchoring ourselves in virtue, we navigate the seas of life not as victims of circumstance, but as architects of our destiny. How then will you wield the tools of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance in your life today? Lesson number 7. Stoicism means setting clear boundaries. These boundaries are not walls meant to distance us from the world, but guidelines that help us navigate through life with integrity and poise. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once insightfully noted, "If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person." This wisdom underscores the Stoic belief that personal transformation and clear boundaries are essential for a harmonious life. The simple act of saying no, perhaps to an unreasonable request at work, or to a demand on your time that conflicts with your values. This no is not just a word. It's a declaration of your priorities, a marker of your respect for your own limitations and needs. It communicates, "Here is where I stand. These are the values I will not compromise." This clarity not only affirms your own self-respect, but also commands respect from others, setting the stage for healthier, more respectful interactions. But how do we set these boundaries in a Stoic way? It starts with self-awareness, knowing what truly matters to us, what our principles are, and where we draw the line. It involves the courage to uphold these boundaries, even when faced with resistance or misunderstanding. And it requires the wisdom to know that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can control our responses and our boundaries. If someone speaks to you with disrespect, a Stoic boundary might involve calmly stating that while you are open to constructive criticism, you expect to be treated with respect. This approach does not escalate the situation, but clearly communicates your expectation for mutual respect. Stoicism, through the practice of setting clear boundaries, teaches us that true freedom comes from within. By defining and upholding our boundaries, we not only protect our well-being, but also foster a life of virtue, respect, and harmony. It is a reminder that in the face of disrespect or any external challenge, our inner citadel remains intact, guided by the principles we choose to live by. How then will you implement the Stoic practice of setting clear boundaries in your life today? Lesson number 8. Stoics use humor. Humor emerges not merely as a means of entertainment, but as a profound philosophical tool, capable of disarming the sharpest arrows of disrespect. This might come as a surprise to those who picture Stoics as stern and serious figures. Yet, the Stoic use of humor is deeply rooted in wisdom. It's a testament to the ability to stand amidst life's challenges with a smile, recognizing the absurdity that often underpins human conflicts and disagreements. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher known for his insightful yet accessible teachings, once mused, "All foolishness suffers the burden of dissatisfaction with itself." This observation highlights the idea that taking life too seriously amplifies our dissatisfaction, leading us to dwell on slights and disrespect. But how does one wield humor as a Stoic tool? Imagine you're in a situation where someone's words or actions seem designed to belittle or disrespect you. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, you choose to respond with a light-hearted comment that acknowledges the absurdity of the situation. This doesn't mean making light of genuine issues or using humor to evade accountability. Rather, it's about using humor to create a space where tension can dissipate, perspectives can shift, and a dialogue can begin from a place of mutual respect and understanding. Someone criticizes your work in a manner that feels disproportionate. Responding with a humorous remark like, "Well, I guess it's back to wizard school for me," can transform the moment. It signals that while you're open to constructive feedback, you're not willing to be dragged down by negativity. This approach can disarm the other person, reducing the emotional charge of the situation and perhaps even opening the door to a more productive conversation. Humor, when used with wisdom and tact, becomes a bridge rather than a barrier. It reminds us that our inner peace is not contingent on external validation or the approval of others. In the face of disrespect, a Stoic wields humor to maintain their equilibrium, to keep perspective, and to cultivate joy even in challenging circumstances. It is a reminder that life, with all its trials and tribulations, is also filled with moments of lightness and laughter. How, then, might you integrate the Stoic practice of humor into your daily interactions to navigate the complexities of human behavior more smoothly? Lesson number 9. Stoicism will change your perspective. Stoicism, far more than mere philosophy, presents a radical way of viewing the world that can profoundly alter our approach to life's inevitable challenges, including the discomfort of disrespect. It encourages us to adopt a transformative lens, one that reframes obstacles as opportunities for personal growth and development. Rather than viewing disrespect as a personal affront, Stoicism invites us to see it as a call to action, an invitation to practice and embody the virtues of patience, understanding, and resilience. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor whose meditations on life continue to inspire, once reflected on the impermanence of worldly power and the enduring nature of virtue. He urged us to consider history as a mirror, reminding us that just as empires rise and fall, the challenges we face today are not unique, but part of the human condition. This perspective invites a sense of humility and empowerment. Humility in recognizing our shared struggles with those who came before us, and empowerment in understanding that we have the capacity to choose our responses. Encountering disrespect in your daily life, perhaps in the workplace, within personal relationships, or even from strangers. The initial sting of such experiences can cloud our judgment, leading to reactive behaviors that often exacerbate the situation. However, through the Stoic practice of changing perspective, we can ask ourselves, what can this situation teach me? Is there a virtue I can practice here, such as patience, understanding, or perhaps forgiveness? This shift in viewpoint does not diminish the real pain that disrespect can cause. Instead, it offers a pathway through it. By choosing to view these moments as opportunities to strengthen our character, we not only navigate the situation with grace, but also contribute to our own personal growth and well-being. Stoicism, therefore, is not passive acceptance, but active engagement with life's challenges. It equips us with the tools to transform our perspective, enabling us to rise above the transient and often trivial moments of disrespect, to focus on what truly matters, our character, and how we choose to live our lives. In doing so, Stoicism offers a path to a more meaningful and fulfilled existence, rooted in virtue and the pursuit of personal excellence. How will you allow Stoicism to change your perspective today? Lesson number 10. Stoics forgive. Forgiveness in the eyes of Stoicism stands as a pinnacle of personal strength and liberation. This ancient philosophy, which emphasizes control over one's reactions and emotions in the face of life's vicissitudes, views forgiveness not merely as a moral virtue, but as an essential practice for inner peace and personal growth. Epictetus, a sage of Stoicism, poignantly remarked, "Freedom is not achieved by satisfying desire, but by eliminating it." In the context of disrespect, this wisdom translates into the understanding that the craving for revenge or an apology chains us to the very person or situation that has wronged us, inhibiting our progress towards tranquility and happiness. But how can we practically apply forgiveness, especially when faced with deep-seated disrespect or hurt? Imagine someone has publicly undermined your work or character. The immediate reaction might be a blend of anger, hurt, and a desire for vindication. However, Embracing a Stoic approach involves a conscious decision to release these feelings, recognizing that holding on to them only perpetuates our own suffering. This doesn't imply condoning the disrespect or absolving the person of their actions. Instead, it means choosing not to let their actions dictate your emotional state or erode your peace of mind. Forgiveness, then, is a gift you give yourself, a deliberate act of reclaiming your power and autonomy. It signifies the understanding that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can control our responses. By forgiving, we free ourselves from the weight of resentment and open our hearts to peace, allowing us to move forward unencumbered by past grievances. Forgiveness embodies the Stoic recognition of our shared humanity, that just as we are capable of making mistakes, so too are those who might disrespect us. This insight doesn't justify the disrespect, but offers a pathway to empathy and understanding, reminding us that growth is possible for everyone. In practicing forgiveness, we not only nurture our own well-being, but also set an example for others, potentially inspiring them to reflect on their actions and consider the power of forgiveness in their own lives. Thus, Stoicism teaches us that forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but a profound expression of strength, wisdom, and compassion. How might choosing forgiveness transform your approach to challenges and lead you towards a more peaceful and fulfilling life? In our exploration of Stoicism, we've traversed the landscape of resilience, learning to navigate the torrents of disrespect with dignity, humor, and wisdom. From reflecting on ourselves to embracing forgiveness, each lesson serves as a beacon guiding us towards inner peace and strength. As the great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Let us then, armed with these tenets of Stoicism, choose not the path of retribution, but that of personal growth and virtue. I invite you, dear listener, to apply these lessons in your journey, transforming every act of disrespect into a stepping stone towards a more peaceful, happy, and humane life. If this message resonates with you, I encourage you to like, share, and join us in spreading the wisdom of Stoicism to navigate life's challenges with grace.